Gender plays a big role in the work we do at Plant with Purpose. Now, we don't have any programs that are explicitly designed to target women as the group we're working with. All of our purpose groups are open for men and women to be working side by side. But in the context of where we work, sometimes doing that is enough to make gender an important part of the conversation. In the majority of sub-Saharan African countries, you see women doing about 2/3 of the farm work, and considering that's the main population we're working with, smallholder farmers, this is reflected in our program. About 2/3 of our program participants are women. With that being the context, we often see that our work creates opportunities for women that might not have been previously available where they were living. It creates new economic opportunities, ways to be employed, and recently, one of our monitoring and data experts, Dave Lubkeman, conducted a robust study to see how the lives of women have been affected by our program, economically and in other areas. A lot of what he discovered by looking at the data was really intriguing, and the best way to appreciate it is to talk to Dave himself.
I am a research specialist. Questions come up and I have the freedom to go examine whatever it is I need to look at to try to figure out what's going on.
What initiated this study and what were you hoping to find out about gender in Plant with Purpose's work?
In 2020 we saw where the female partners were, utilizing the program much more enthusiastically than the male partners, although the males are doing great too. And so then we rolled into 2023 and we found that the female impact wasn't as compelling as the male. So it caused us to step back and say, okay, let's look at 2017, 2020, and 2023 as a whole. And out of that, we found that women are still being impacted more favorably than men. We can confidently say that women are benefiting more so than their male counterparts.
Yeah, and that goes to show that your efforts to, put aside your biases or expectations or even what you want to see out of the data, you're able to just put that aside and see what the data is actually telling you.
You just need to follow the data, which is something that I've applied to everything that I do now. You just need to put your biases away and just go after what you're seeing, and if you need to do more detail, you do. So
let's go into some of the key findings from your gender impact study. I have some of those highlights in front of me. So first of all, we noticed that there was a 12% impact ratio improvement for females versus males. First of all, what's an impact ratio and what does it look like for that to improve for women and men?
We look at the change from female non-participant to female participant. So there's that change, which we'd call the female percent change. We do the same for males, male percent change over female percent change, and that is the impact ratio. So you get a sense of what sort of impact our program is having on the females versus males.
I don't know if this is something you've looked at or maybe considered, but the impact that then occurs throughout families or even between married couples of there being a trend of women participating and then eventually either her spouse or even more family members coming on board and seeing growth patterns that way.
I truly believe that as the women are participating in the purpose groups and the structure of the group where the members in the group elect their own officers, and if that 2/3, 1/3 ratio holds true in a purpose group, women are electing women into areas of leadership. And the women that are in leadership, if they've not already done so, they start gaining their leadership voice because they're just given an opportunity. And then the men see the women in those roles and start hearing them maybe for the first time. And they start recognizing how smart these women really are. And I think that bleeds out into the communities. It certainly happens within the purpose group, but outside the purpose group as well. Men see the brilliance of the women, the ideas that they have, the creativity they have, and they're given more opportunities in the community to become leaders there too. And with women gaining their leadership voice, they just have more confidence to speak up and share their ideas. So I just think the structure of the purpose group, allowing women to become leaders, is just a key part of our program.
At Plant with Purpose, we are proud of the women we are working with, the women in our program. I have gotten to meet many of them and heard their stories about how they've moved their families forward, put their kids in school, started new businesses, and so many of the things they've done have been truly impressive. They're writing new narratives for their family, they're writing new narratives for the next generation, and they're changing the mindsets of the community where they live. And it's exciting to see that those stories are fully supported by the data.